every single day it feels like we're just buried under this mountain of content.
Oh, absolutely. It's just endless.
Endless scrolling, feeds constantly refreshing, always something new popping up. But, I mean, how much of that actually sticks? How much of it genuinely moves you?
Not much, usually.
You cannot kill what is already dead.
So much feels disposable.
Well, today we're diving into something that seems to push back against that quite deliberately. Our source material is Through My Lens, the Chestermere Edition. And it's presented, interestingly, not just as like a photo book, but as a direct declaration of a unique philosophy from bigfatgroup.com.
A declaration, yeah. That's a strong word.
It is, and it signals this isn't about chasing those fleeting clicks. It seems they're aiming for something, well, something more enduring, something with a bit more soul.
That's exactly right. And our mission today, really, is to unpack how this specific publication embodies that approach. It's a powerful, maybe even countercultural take on media and storytelling.
Countercultural, I like that.
Yeah, because it explicitly aims for something, much deeper than just quick views.
Excuse me.
Or clicks. We'll explore how it tries to prioritize meaning and real connection and lasting impact.
In a world that often just values speed.
Speed and volume
Yeah.
over substance, yeah.
So by the end of this deep dive, you can expect to get some, I think, really fascinating insights into a different way of thinking about content, both creating it and consuming it.
Hopefully a new lens, you could say.
Yeah, exactly. A new lens to view media through, and maybe even some inspiration, for your own work or how you engage, focusing on how stories can actually resonate, how they can stick with you and still matter long after you've scrolled past.
Long after the scroll ends.
Precisely. Okay, so let's unpack this. The source material calls Through My Lens, the Chestermere Edition, more than just a book, like we said, a direct declaration from the founder, Ed Koshikaro. What does framing it that way as a declaration really suggest about their sort of fundamental approach, especially when, so much stuff online is just content for content's sake?
Well, it immediately signals this isn't business as usual, doesn't it? It tells us straight up, this isn't just another product off the shelf.
Right.
It's a statement of their core values. It really embodies this belief. They state that creativity isn't disposable and that stories should genuinely move people. And what's really fascinating, I think, isn't just that they say they want resonance over reach and impact over immediacy. It's the implication for their business. They're effectively saying, we prioritize long-term connection, maybe brand loyalty, over those quick, short-term metrics.
Which is pretty radical in the digital space.
It really is. It's often a much harder path to take than just chasing clicks.
That distinction, it points to a very deliberate strategy. And the book itself seems to mirror this. It says it's not generic stock images.
No stock photos here.
But stories captured in Chestermere with heart, light, and meaning. And I keep coming back to that phrase, made for the world after the scroll ends. It suggests a whole different lifespan for this kind of media.
What does that actually mean, right? After the scroll ends.
Could you maybe expand on that? What does it imply for how people might actually engage with it?
Well, it raises that big question about value, about longevity in this super fast-paced digital world we're in. For something to be made for the world after the scroll ends, it suggests a real investment in things that you can't just consume quickly.
Like what, for instance?
Like maybe really high production quality, or genuine emotional depth in the storytelling, or perhaps exploring themes that stay relevant. Evergreen stuff.
So not just trends.
Exactly. It implies content you don't just glance at and forget, but something you might actually come feed to, something that keeps resonating, instead of just being yesterday's news in your feed. It's about building a lasting impression, not just grabbing attention for a second.
That makes sense. This commitment to lasting impact. It makes me wonder about the team behind it. Who exactly is Big Fat Group? They're described as this collective of media makers, storytellers, marketing strategists, content developers, and visionaries. That's quite a mix.
It is.
How do all those different skills line up with this one core vision?
I think it speaks to a really holistic approach, actually. The source lists their specific services: Big Fat Sound, Big Fat Video, Big Fat Photo, and Big Fat 360 Marketing.
Right, the different branches.
Yeah, but the key thing is that all of them are apparently rooted in this same philosophy. building things that last and truly matter. It's not like separate departments just doing their own thing.
Ah, okay.
It seems more like a unified vision. Each service isn't just about delivering a specific product, like just a video or just some photos, but about adding a piece to a larger cohesive story that's designed to resonate.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting for me. We're told they don't just, take an order and follow the brief. They shape visions with strategy and soul.
Strategy and soul. I like that combination.
Me too. And the commitment, it says, is to make sure every detail carries weight and every message is intentional. They're aiming for not decoration, not noise, but resonance, a pulse, a presence.
Wow. A pulse, a presence. That's quite poetic for a marketing approach.
It is. So how does this strategy and soul approach practically differ from, say, typical content creation? And what does it really mean to give content a pulse and presence?
Well, connecting it back, this strategy and soul idea, it feels fundamentally different from a lot of content work, which, let's be honest, can often be about ticking boxes or just filling up a calendar slot.
Yeah, just getting something out there.
Yeah. This implies a much deeper, more collaborative process, maybe with their clients, where the goal isn't just, okay, deliver X, but more like, let's really find the heart of this message together.
Uncovering the core.
Exactly. And infusing content with a pulse and presence. I think that means every little choice, the image they use, the way a sentence is phrased, the music cue, is all carefully crafted to hit an emotional note.
Okay.
To feel authentic and to leave, a real imprint.
Yeah.
It's about creating an actual experience, not just putting out another static piece of media.
And this idea of impactful creation, it also has this strong local tie-in, which kind of brings it all home, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, the Chestermere focus.
Right. We learn that if you license images or buy prints from this book, you're directly supporting a local creative business, one that's telling Chestermere's story with profound care, intention, and love.
Which helps keep that local spirit alive.
Exactly. And it's framed as this deliberate choice, originality over imitation, and local relevance over generic visuals. How does that local focus, that authenticity, really strengthen this whole idea of storytelling with weight and getting that resonance?
Well, I think that local connection and sticking to originality isn't just, a nice thing to do. It feels like a core strategic element for achieving that deeper resonance.
How so?
Because generic stuff, generic visuals, they often fall flat, right? They lack specific context. They don't feel truly genuine. By focusing on Chestermere's unique story, using local talent, supporting that local ecosystem, Big Fat Group is creating content that automatically has more weight, more familiarity for that community.
Because people recognize it, they connect to it.
Precisely. It makes it far more likely to live and linger because it speaks directly to their actual experience.
Yeah.
It's about crafting a story that really belongs to its audience, not just something beamed in from anywhere.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so diving into their philosophy like this, it makes me think about their ultimate promise. Moments that linger, work that holds meaning long after the scroll ends.
It's a powerful statement of purpose.
It really is. And then there's this invitation, let's make something that truly matters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It reflects this core commitment to what they're trying to deliver. It frames their services as more of a partnership aimed at creators or businesses who also care about authenticity and making a lasting impact. It's really about building narratives that create genuine connection, turning that fleeting attention into something more like enduring engagement.
So for anyone listening who's intrigued and wants to see this in action, mark your calendars.
Yeah.
The digital edition of Through My Lens, the Chestermere Edition, is launching on August 30th.
Oh, good to know. Soon.
Yeah, and you can actually download it for free just by subscribing to the email list over at bigfatgroup.com. It's framed as an invitation, again, to look harder, to feel deeper.
Which fits perfectly with everything we've discussed.
It does.
It's also interesting how this whole philosophy, this focus on authentic local storytelling, creates a pretty unique angle even for, say, advertisers.
Ah, right. How so?
Well, instead of just buying eyeballs or impressions in the usual way, a brand that partners with something like Through My Lens, the Chestermere Edition, they'd be seeking a genuine connection with a really engaged, specific local audience.
So it's less about interrupting, more about joining the conversation.
Exactly. It's not just about slapping a logo on something. It's an opportunity for businesses to actually participate in a shared, meaningful narrative. It transforms advertising, potentially, into something closer to authentic connection.
Makes sense. And where can people find info on that?
They give a specific link, www.bigfatgroup.com.
Okay, good to have that. So to kind of wrap up our deep dive today, Big Fat Groups, through my lens, the Chestermere Edition really stands out, doesn't it? As this powerful example, maybe even a testament to creating content that actively chooses meaning, resonance, and lasting impact over just grabbing fleeting attention.
Yeah, it feels like a compelling blueprint for a different way to approach media engagement. It really underscores the value, I think, of consciously choosing content that tries to live and linger. Whether you're on the receiving end looking for authentic stuff, or if you're a creator trying to make work that genuinely matters.
It pushes back against that always on, always new pressure.
It absolutely challenges the standard logic of the attention economy.
So here's a final thought for you listening. In this world of just endless scrolling, what does storytelling with weight actually mean to you? What kind of content truly holds meaning long after the scroll ends for you personally? And maybe how can you seek out more of it, or perhaps even contribute to creating more of it yourself?
Something to ponder.
Definitely something to think about long after you stop scrolling today.